The National Transportation Safety Board said that there are 68 bridges across 19 states requiring urgent vulnerability assessments, including the iconic Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. Joining us to discuss is Paul Fix III. He's an automotive journalist with Car Coach Reports. Good to see you, Paul. Thanks for joining. In light of the Francis Scott Key Bridge, tragically in Baltimore completely collapsing because a ship rammed into it, shed a new light on bridge vulnerability. What are your reactions to this new report from the National Transportation Safety Board?
Well, there's a lot of concerns going on here, especially because a lot of these major bridges have an incredible amount of traffic going across it every single day. A lot of people rely on these bridges for their daily commutes or visiting family or just going shopping or driving around in general. And the fact that these bridges are at risk of collapse, and to be specific, they're at risk of if being impacted by a ship, that these bridges would more than likely collapse. This is an assessment analysis from the NTSB here that essentially just means that there's a lot of concerns to be had. These 68 bridges are the big major bridges, but there's many thousands of bridges that could need repairs that are over 70 years old. A lot of them could be really, really small, from your tiny little town bridge that just goes over a tiny little stream, all the way up to, like I said, these 68 very large bridges. And there's millions of dollars, billions of dollars at stake here. And of course, people's daily lives that are at risk. So there's a lot of concerns to be had as we dig into this.
Yeah, indeed. What is the process to ensure bridges are safe? Is this just a routine sort of thing that engineers are deployed on a certain schedule, or are there signs of wear and tear and then people are deployed? How do we keep our nation's bridges safe to begin with?
Yeah, there are associations inside and outside of the government that are in charge of and analyzing these bridges, and they should be doing them at normal intervals. But sometimes when the funding for those analyses are left to the state or the feds or some local municipalities, sometimes that falls by the wayside when there's a lot of other things to be spending money for infrastructure on. And this is something that actually falls by the wayside quite often. So in some cases, there are bridges that haven't been analyzed in over 30 years, and not even once. And you'd think that that'd be a large concern, but now, especially after the Key Bridge collapsing, people are starting to take notice, and with the NTSB stepping up and saying, all right, we're going to do a full analysis and we're going to spread it out across the entire country and see what major infrastructure points can be analyzed and repaired. And again, this is millions, billions of dollars at stake here to make sure that our roads stay in one piece.
Yeah, I guess the report is confronting, but ignorance is bliss, right? Better to know that work needs to be done. So what comes next? Where does the money come from to then begin these assessments and start deploying resources?
Yeah, absolutely. So there is a large fund. It's $4.9 billion of available funding specifically for major bridge projects, and that's through the Bridge Investment Program. And there's up to $500 million for repairing bridges in rural areas through the Competitive Highway Bridge Program, and this is all through the Department of Transportation. And actually, the requirements for getting this funding has recently changed since Sean Duffy became the head of the Department of Transportation, and he removed a lot of roadblocks, you could say, that were put in place by previous administrations, essentially trying to make sure that these states and local municipalities can have easier access to this funding so that they can repair these bridges.
And Paul, God forbid our viewers should ever need this advice, but could you please review what you should do if you ever drive off a bridge into the water? What you can do preventatively, like do you need something in your car? And you're not going to really have time to react. You're going to need to know what to do immediately. So what should our viewers do should that ever happen?
Absolutely. Very serious situation if you ever find yourself driven off a bridge and you end up in water. Now, if you end up falling and there's not water, first of all, that's a big drop, and definitely brace yourself for impact. There's not much that you can do depending on the level of the drop. But if you're falling into water, the first thing is The higher you are, the harder that water is when you hit it. And that impact could shatter glass. It could damage the car, which would set off the airbag if the front bumper hits hard enough. So there's just before you even get into the water, there's a lot of scary things that could happen. Now, what you should prepare for yourself is a glass breaking tool. They're very cheap. They're about the size of a pen. They're about this big. Sometimes they're even smaller. And they have a spring-loaded puncture system where if you hit it against glass, it'll instantly shatter that glass. And it's very important to have one easily accessible to you. Put it in your center console, put it on your keychain, somewhere easy to access. And I'm going to say don't panic, but it's very difficult in this situation. But you're going to want to try to make sure that your family is safe. Any very, very important things, like if you only need one thing, like if you need a key or if you need your phone, maybe don't reach for everything. Maybe only reach for that one thing, because getting out of the car is going to be your top priority. Break that glass, pull yourself out. If you have something cloth to protect yourself from getting cut by the glass on your way out, also very important. And try to get out as quickly as possible. Now, if you do end up submerged in the water and your vehicle's filling with water, you don't want to break out immediately. You want to wait until the car fills with water, then break the glass. And the reason why is because there's a pressure differential inside the vehicle. And if the car is only half filled with water, and you break the glass early, it could cause a rush of water, which could send the broken glass into you, into your family members. It could rush whatever's in the water into the car. But if you wait until your car slowly fills with water, break the glass, and swim on out, you should be okay. Again, very dangerous situation, and definitely go and get yourself a glass breaking tool.
Well, hopefully nobody ever needs to use that advice, but it's there if you need it. Go get yourself a glass breaking tool. Keep it in your center console. Appreciate the advice this morning. Paul Fix III with Car Coach Reports.
If you like this video, give it a like and subscribe for more videos like this, and check out our car review channel, Car Smarts. You can support me by buying me a cup of coffee, and if you want even more content, check out the links in the description. I'm Lauren Fix. Thank you so much for watching.